Can you imagine leaving a nearly 5-year-old girl home alone, along with her two sisters ages 3 and 1.5? I did, and it was the hands down dumbest thing I ever did as a father. At the time, I was working as a freelance writer and public relations specialist. One of my clients had an office about 25 minutes away, and I worked from home most days. But this was the day I was contracted to go into their office for meetings and to do some other work. Keep in mind, my 3 daughters never slept in for any reason. One was always up at the crack of dawn, and because they all shared a bedroom, they would immediately wake up the others. However, I did sleep in that day. When I woke up, the house was quiet except for the dog, which was barking to go outside. I quietly thanked my wife for letting me sleep in and assumed she had taken the girls to the sitter. So I got up, tended to the dog, showered, got dressed, had breakfast, and did some work around the house. At around 9:30 that morning, I left the house to drive to my client's office. There was still not a sound in the house. Around 12:30 p.m., I returned home to find a message on the answering machine from our babysitter saying, "Greg, I have the girls." I thought to myself, of course you do. You have watched all 3 of my daughters nearly every day for 3 years. So I was curious as to what prompted the message, and I called her up. The sitter explained she had received a phone call from my oldest daughter shortly after I left the house, telling her, "My mom and dad are gone. Can you come and pick us up?" So my sitter immediately drove to our house, where she found all 3 girls dressed and eating cereal out of a baggie on our front step. Come to find out, my wife had not taken the girls to the sitter. She assumed I would do so later that morning. When the oldest discovered there wasn't an adult in the house, she went to our phone, which had 10 speed dial buttons on it, and she started pressing buttons. Weeks later, a good friend of mine told me he had come home one day to find a message on his answering machine with a girl's voice saying, "Nobody is home there. Now you girls behave." He had no idea what that was about. The 9th button on the machine was set to call our sitter, and fortunately, she was home waiting patiently for my girls to arrive. I thank God that my daughter had reached the sitter when she did, because the 10th button on her speed dial was set to call 911. When my wife found out what happened, she went ballistic, and rightfully so. You see, my wife was a social worker for a social services agency 1 county over. In fact, she was responsible for finding foster care for children who were removed from their homes because of parental neglect. I still find it remarkable that my nearly 5-year-old daughter had the foresight to call the sitter, then ensure her sisters got dressed, put cereal in baggies for them to eat, and led them out to the front step to wait patiently for the sitter to arrive. Today I have a great deal of empathy for distracted parents who leave their kids at home or in the car. And I am eternally grateful nothing bad happened to my girls at that time, and more importantly, they were not removed from our home over my neglect.